Well, last week's wet weather helped us keep cooler, but it left behind some nice green lawns, but it was not so good for some local farmers.
WSAV's Nakaya Harris tells us how the rainfall impacted a local farmer.
I plant my tree and I have to take care of it for 3 to 5 years before I get any return. So if a tree dies from mold or mildew or root rot, I start my 3 to 5 year window over again.
Last week was filled with rain and thunderstorms that have impacted farmers across the southeast. Stephen Cooler, owner of Satsumas of Savannah, says he is one farmer that has been affected.
We ended up in the past 2 weeks with about 3.5 inches of rain out here. Once the ground becomes, which is bad, but once the ground becomes saturated, then it really cannot absorb anymore. So then you're worried about erosion.
Cooler adds because of the rain, he has increased the use of chemicals and treatments to avoid root rot and mildew. He even says he is already starting to see mold growing on the ground, which has to be treated. A small number of his citrus trees are starting to have yellow tinted leaves, which means the tree received too much water. Even some of his fruit is full of water.
I mean, you can feel them. They're all hard as rocks right now because they're so full of water.
However, when asked when will he truly know the effects of the rain, he says,
"We'll know in about another week or two whether we could lose everything."
After a week filled with moisture, Cooler Citrus Farm will be filled with sweltering heat this week. Temperatures are expected to be in the low to mid-90s. He says he's all for that.
We want sun 90 degrees. We're all for that. 90 degrees and a little bit of rain coming along is really good. If it doesn't, like I said, we have our irrigation system we can turn on to do that. We just don't like, over 2 inches is when I start worrying at one time.
Reporting in Savannah, Nakaya Harris, WSAV News 3 on your side.